Salute. It's your boy Big Mike here with the 5th episode of the I almost forgot what it was called. The Raiders Pop-Off. That's what we're calling it. And here you go, man. I got a special one for you. It's a special one for me. This is he's my brother, first off. He does some great things with music, crypto. He's a crypto extraordinaire and a loyal Raiders fan. And I really want to, we really want to get into the Raiders stuff, and we're gonna kind of mix it up with Raiders and finances. We're gonna mix it all together, and I hope you guys enjoy this one. I'm gonna introduce you to my brother, Crypto Tales.
What up, bro? What's up with it, man?
This is like years in the making, bro. This is something that we've been talking about doing for a very long time, and I'm glad that we're doing it together, bro. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing good, bro. Shout outs to you, man. I definitely have to come on and show some love, man. So thanks for having me, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, hey, before we get started with the Raiders stuff, I do want to talk about what you're doing. Introduce yourself. Let us know what you're doing with what kind of projects you got going. With the crypto stuff. Tell us a little bit about how it works, what you're doing, the music you're doing, everything that you just lay it down is about as basic, but as detailed at the same time as you can.
For sure, bro. So I go by Crypto Tales or Tales from the Crypto. You can catch me on YouTube at Crypto Tales or Tales from Crypto. Basically, I cover crypto news. Also do crypto music. Basically, getting the average person who doesn't know about crypto and, introducing them into a different world that they've never known before, utilizing music to do that. So I basically create YouTube content and trying to help people, change their lives with this opportunity that crypto is giving everybody. So that's basically what I do. So
there you go.
Yes,
You're doing a great job with that. I mean, shoot, I'm proud. And I know the family's proud. Everybody's proud of what you're doing. I do want to share a little something before we get into the Raiders, the pop off, and talking about what the Raiders are doing, past, present, and future. I do want to share something with the viewers. If you can kind of give me a second so I can figure this out. There we go. All right. So, gotta pull this up. I wanted to share this. One of your songs.
So that's the most recent.
This is the most recent. I'm gonna play a little bit. I'm gonna play the first verse. And of course, you can find this on Crypto Tales on YouTube. If you guys want to check out more of what he's got going on, crypto news, and then some more music down the line when he does drop some. So here we go.
It's not easy to be part of the 1%. It started out with gold, silver, and bronze. Cryptocurrency was created to deceive masses. Swift out of words, was nothing to know. Stuck in past, stuck in past. Like it is, gotta switch gears, alright, Mario with the tens, on some bullshit, stop praying, start buying, in bags, I ain't fucking playing, let me talk like it's science, alright, I'm so tired of this crypto control, you already know, make some damn money, spell it in the dough, as you see, it's exposed, tomorrow, the day we gon' blow, I'm better off, selling at a loss, not caring what it costs, I ain't when it drop, I ain't for the fake flop, to the tip top, I'm watching TikTok, so my new wristwatch, that Vegas crypto meter, hello, nice to meet ya. Show a DAI like we do it all the time. Hit a show a lady E in the bag, man, the next night. More party, so you know we had to take flight. So many years and it's still no tears. If you're selling it, I'm still all in. What do you do when your freedom is in illusion? How high will it go when the extra really get the movie? There's some reason when you know that you ain't losing. Going back to go back, now choosing. Which one thing, bag it up. This one thing, bag it up.
All right, so yeah, that was a little sample. Hey, I gotta listen to that song like, man, at least once a day at this point, bro. Like, I gotta listen to it at least once a day. It tells a good story, almost from kind of like a rags to riches story. That's how I interpret it. and kind of just bringing hope to people that's in the crypto community who's still holding on to that crypto and waiting for that day for it to take you to the moon, basically.
Yeah, you still holding on to the bag you had?
Yeah, we still got some, but we got a
Still
stack.
in it.
I'm kind of slipping on the stacking though. So
Hey man, it's nothing but time right now, man. Right now is the perfect time to be buying crypto.
yep.
That's not financial advice, but definitely take advantage of the opportunity right now. So with that track, man, I just I've been in crypto since 2018.
Yep.
I done rode the roller coaster up and down. I went from being broke to being rich to being back broke multiple times.
Yeah.
And just you know, the opportunity that is given, you know, the average person to change their life and the way everything is moving towards, you know, digitalized everything. So, you know, that's why I do the music to, you know, let people know, you know, there's opportunity out there and just definitely taking advantage of it. So, and then also the video I edit it too. So I do video editing and all that. You already know, but
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, you got the editing, you do the music. Let them know about the other stuff you got on, man. You selling yourself a little bit short, man. You got that you know, you
So
got the
yeah,
NFT coming, you know, you
yeah.
got some other
So
things coming along.
yeah, so I got contacted by an NFT company called XRP Rain Dancers. They like the track. They also like some of my other music that I did. So
Yep.
they want to utilize it in their NFT line. They're gonna drop music NFTs utilizing my music, and they're gonna make a specific one for me. So they make me as a character uh, with my uh, with my music in the background, and you know it'll be sold, and you know so you know I'm definitely making moves. I also did a show in Vegas with a couple of big crypto artists. Um, it's been a roller coaster ride this past year, but
Yeah.
definitely a lot of momentum. Um, just trying to grow my page, spread the word at the same time, and you know things are looking up for sure.
Yeah, and you're doing a great job. You spreading the word through music. You also tell it directly with the news, and you know I mean, you're doing great stuff and tying it in with what's going on with the Raiders. We've been in Vegas a lot, right? We've been in and out of Vegas. We went to the NFL draft. You know, we were in
Yeah.
Vegas opening weekend. We went to some Raiders events. Uh, Tell me how you see Vegas taking in this crypto as you know, just kind of being introduced into Vegas and crypto being introduced into Vegas. Where do you see how do you see this affecting Vegas as a city, and do you see it kind of trickling in with the Raiders and what they got going on in their stadium?
I think crypto is gonna change a lot of different markets, not just you know money, but the way we keep track of stuff like data and stuff like that.
Yep.
As far as how it you know works with the Raiders, I think since they already do like a contactless type deal where it's just all electronic payments at the stadium, I
Yep.
feel like they're probably somehow utilizing crypto in the back end. Like most people don't understand, like when they think of crypto, they think of like Bitcoin or some random, you know, magical pixie dust money.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's like blockchain technology, and basically it's like a back end server network that helps, you know, whatever previous network more efficient, faster transactions, more scalable, you know, lesser fees and stuff like that. So I can definitely see crypto making a big dent in, you know, not just Vegas and you know the market there, but globally. So
Yep.
yeah, I think it's a way bigger deal than people think.
Yeah, and you know, instant transactions, like you said, you know, just as long as Vegas can get their money from you, basically they're happy with it, and
Yeah,
as quick as
yeah, for
possible, they'll
sure.
take it, right?
Yeah,
So, you
and
know,
I
that's
think there's different cryptos also that work with that are working on the use case of casinos, like digitalizing a coin to use specifically for casinos and stuff. So I'm sure all of that is going to be implemented as well. So now we're just looking at a future with you know electronic payments. You know when you start moving into Web3, you start moving into a whole different internet. The way we move value is going to be like the way we move data. Like as fast as I can send a message is going to be as fast as money is going to be sent. So yeah, we're definitely going to change the world with this one.
Yep, and I feel like the Raiders and the owner of the Raiders and just the city of Vegas is kind of going along that wave. You're going to see it down the line that crypto is going to be just crypto transactions and how we move money in general is going to be. You're going to see that in the forefront very soon. So let's talk. Let's kind of step away from the financial part. We'll jump into that a little bit later. The question I usually ask everybody is the Raiders, past, present, and future. So kind of talk about, I have it on. Pretty much everything I wear is Raiders.
Yeah, you got more Raiders stuff than most people I know, bro.
Yeah, everything is Raiders. I got this. This is the newest one I got. It shows opportunity, equity, freedom, and justice. Now they make these for all the NFL teams, but I think this one's special for the Raiders because the Raiders were a pioneer as far as giving minorities, women opportunities. We have the first female CEO ever in NFL history. We hired the first black head coach, the first Latino head coach. We had most firsts are coming from the Raiders. So when I wear a hat like this, it says opportunity, equity, freedom, and justice. This means more than what they're trying to put out there as far as the NFL agenda, trying to bring people together. For the Raiders, it means more than that. Now, as far as like the past, present, and future goes, give me your perspective on what you think the Raiders are from the past, and then the present. How do you see them now, and then where you think they're going?
Man, past, I just always known Raiders to be dogs, man.
Yep.
Just dogs on the field, knocking your lip,
Yes, sir.
And that's how they always been. We're a real loyal fan base. We're not no bandwagoners, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
And just for being a Raiders fan my whole life, man, past is just being that team and the last time we was in a Super Bowl was against the Bucks, and that wasn't a very good time.
Yeah,
so
you can probably attest to that was the day after my birthday, and
oh man, that was
I kicked everybody out the house.
Yeah, that was a terrible party, bro. That was a terrible party. But I mean, that was the last time I seen the Raiders actually in a Super Bowl, actually, doing something worthwhile, and we're way overdue for a change. So as far as the past, I'm only 32, so that's probably the only real time I've seen us be, good enough to make it into a Super Bowl. But present, man, we got a lot of things to build on. We need to build up the defense better. We need more consistency from everybody, not just the quarterback, not just the defense, not just the coaching, but everybody needs to be on the same page in order to move forward, man. I feel like, everybody wants to blame this and that. It's a team effort, and everybody needs to play their part. And if we could just, figure out how to, not make as many mistakes and to play cleaner ball and to utilize, the talent that we have now. Because last year we made it to the playoffs with less talent, so it's not the fact that we don't have the ability to do it. It's just we're not playing clean football, and that's basically what it comes down to. So present, man, we need to work on a lot of things. As far as this season goes, I mean, we're playing it by ear now. So we'll see what happens. But as far as like the future, I think the future is bright for Vegas, man. We need to get our identity, man. We need to get our Vegas identity. I was watching this past game, which was nuts how it ended and everything. And as I was watching it, I was just thinking, like, I don't like the fact that when we have the ball, the crowd is loud. Like, we don't have enough Raider fans in there. And maybe the prices of the tickets are too high, maybe because, we're not doing as good this season. the fans are not showing up. I don't know what it is, but I don't like knowing that when we're playing at home, it's just as loud when we're on the field, and that's not how it should be. So as far as the future of us, man, we need to just, you know, continue to make changes to whether if we got to get a quarterback, whether if we got to use what we got, get somebody in the backup, train them up, or whatever we got to do, man. We just got to find our identity. We don't have an identity in Vegas. And until we do that, man, we're just going to continue to be in this hole. So that's where I think, we're going to be.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And unfortunately, I think that the Raiders are in a situation where they're almost like a destination town, destination place for everybody visiting, like fans to come in and see their team play.
Yep.
And unfortunately, if we're not winning and the team we're playing is winning, you're going to get that fan base coming in droves. And then Raider fans, they're going to be probably rather watch it at home because of the price of the tickets, or they just figure that they're not winning, so why am I going to go spend all this money to go see a team lose? So
Yep.
It's important for Mark Davis to look at this situation, because it was that Patriots game yesterday. It was like 50-50. You could probably even argue and say it was more Patriots fans there.
Oh yeah, it was real loud when we had the ball, man, and that's not good considering we went to the game, we went to the Raiders and Rams game, and it was more Raiders fan than Rams fans in LA. So just the fact that we seen it firsthand of how Raiders showed up in LA at a Rams home game, and now we got a home game and the Patriots show up, and we're talking about the New York Patriots, like they're New England, but they're in New York, you know what I'm saying? And
in that area,
yeah, in that area. And that's a long way away from Vegas. So, for them to have that crowd support at our hometown, like it's not a good look.
But you know good and well, right, that those Patriots fans are like they're still like remnants of that Brady era, and they didn't let go. So Patriots fans are like countrywide at this point. They're nationwide at this point. So
yeah, that's true.
They come from everywhere. They probably live in Nevada, a lot of them, because they didn't have a team before. And over the years, they started adopting other teams other than the Raiders. It just happened that the Raiders move in, and now they're the home team,
Yeah, I think it's going to take some time for us to really build a true fan base in Vegas. Yeah. And if we're not winning, man, it's just going to make it, a lot harder for them to establish themselves. So, they definitely need to check themselves, for sure.
Yeah, what helped the fan base for the hockey team and the WNBA team is that they won. They won.
Exactly.
The first year, the Golden Knights went to the Stanley Cup, their very first year. So now they got an established fan base. The Las Vegas Aces, they just won the WNBA title. So they have like a little fan base there. It's not huge, but they're talking about bringing a baseball team. They're talking about bringing an NBA team. So before that happens, the Raiders need to establish who their fan base is going to be. And if they don't win, then that fan base is never going to exist there.
Yep, it's just going to be a tourist thing where, if we go to Vegas, we can catch a game if we're there.
Yeah.
Instead of it just being the blackout, Raider Nation there, then it's a whole different situation. So,
yeah. And then we'll continue going to LA and watching the Raiders, take over LA every time they play the Chargers.
Yep.
And that'll be like our one home game that we would have,
Yeah.
And that's not good.
Yeah, it's not good, man. It's not.
Yeah. So, let's talk about that Rams game, the Rams versus Raiders. So we were talking a little bit about the LA takeover. Does that mean anything to you? Should it mean anything to us? We say, LA, LA, the Raiders run LA, but should it matter that much to us? Is that really something that should be important to you or us?
I mean, we were LA Raiders at one point in time,
Yep.
and you know that fan base is always there. I feel like they're trying their hardest to build up a Charger fan base, build up like Rams. They kind of got a nice fan base considering they also won a Super Bowl and everything there. But as far as the Chargers, man, it's like people know LA as a Raider town.
Yeah.
It's always been that, even like back in the day. So I don't think it's anything new. I just think the NFL needs to, know that and move on, man. It's like
Yeah.
they're trying to change it, and that's never gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. And it's like, and on the flip side of this, right? Us as Raider fans, we need to I really believe this. Like, I really feel like we need to stop living in the past and kind of establish something new. Raider fans, what we do best is kind of talk about, the past, talk about yesterday. And part of that whole yesterday narrative is let's talk about LA and how dominant we were when we were in LA. So whenever we show up to LA, it's like, hey, we took over. Raiders still run this, but at the end of the day, we're still losing games in LA.
Yeah, none of that matters, man.
Yeah,
Whether we're in LA, whether we're in Oakland, whether we're in Vegas, man, like we need to play Raider ball, and
yep,
they haven't been playing Raider ball. So they just need to get it together, man. Like build up Vegas. That's the new home. That's the new fan base. Play better so you can build that fan base and try to do whatever you can as an owner to you know make that situation a lot better. If you got to lower ticket prices to get your real fans in, like whatever the case is, like I know you're trying to pay bills and everything and and all that, but I mean something's gotta change, man, because the way things is going, man, it's not looking right, man. It's not Raiders to me.
yeah. And I talk to a lot of people from Oakland, and they don't like the path the Raiders are going with this because it doesn't feel like Oakland anymore. It doesn't. Unfortunately, me and you've never been to an Oakland Raiders game.
Yeah,
We lived in LA, and it was kind of too far. It's actually closer to go to a Vegas game for us than to
yeah,
go,
true.
when they were in Oakland. And back when they were in Oakland, like I don't know about you, I couldn't afford no tickets or a flight to go to Oakland at that time.
No, definitely not.
You know, so unfortunately, we missed out on that whole experience. But speaking to Oakland fans, Oakland Raiders fans, that's where it started. You had that home field advantage. You had the tailgate. People were showing up. People were scared to show up. That was a true home field advantage for the Raiders.
Yep.
And we just the Raiders now in Vegas. Everybody wants to show up. Everybody feels comfortable coming in, and which is cool for football, right? But for the fan base, for a Raiders fan base that's still trying to look for that identity, it's just it's hurtful, and it's kind of a slap in the face. It's
Yep.
kind of a slap in the face for Oakland fans. And then from our perspective as LA Raider fans, we see what the NFL should have done, and that's a slap in the face because we go to the Rams and Raiders games or the Chargers and Raiders games, and we're taking over that stadium where it's like 80% Raiders fans there.
Yep.
And we see it, and they're like, what was the NFL thinking? And not,
I mean,
putting us where we belong.
they've been treating the Raiders like garbage for as long as the Raiders been around.
Yeah.
Al Davis kind of set that standard for us by,
Yeah.
his actions and everything. And we've been in that shadow ever since. So, it's like I said, it's going to take some time for the NFL to finally let it go, man. Like, I mean, they definitely made a mistake, I think, on having the Chargers in LA. I mean, Chargers didn't even have fans in San Diego. You're gonna bring them to LA where it's mostly Raiders fans. Like,
Yeah.
that's not the move. But I also like that we have our own stadium and that we're not sharing it.
Yeah.
But it's not a good thing if we have our own stadium, but we got more opponent fans than we do our own, you know.
Well,
So
yeah, in that case, we're just sharing with everybody at that point. You know, we got our own,
exactly,
but really, do we have our own? It's
sharing
not
every
home
week.
field advantage. Yeah.
Yep.
So, then the next question I got, bro, is Mark Davis. Do you think he's in the business to win, or do you think he's in the business to make money right now? What do you think his perspective is in trying to build the Raiders brand? Is he actually just trying to make money at this point? Is he just kind of just kind of raking in the dough and not really caring how it comes in? Or do you think that he's actually trying to build a brand? He's trying to build a winning franchise, build a winning tradition here in Las Vegas. In Las Vegas, what do you think Mark Davis' perspective is?
I'm gonna say a little bit of both, man.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he's trying to make money because he spent a lot of money on the stadium.
Yep.
They're trying to brand Raiders in a different way, marketing wise. I think it's more about money than it is about building the Raiders right now.
Yep.
Especially with like the whole coaching situation. It's like keeping our coach because is he keeping our coach because he doesn't want to pay another one? How is that deal? Or is it he feels like Josh McDaniels is the one and maybe it just takes some time. We've been going through too many coaches. So I think it could be a little bit of both. He's definitely after the money, that's for sure. But it's hard to say, man. We're gonna have to just see how these next few years go. I know we have the Super Bowl in our stadium next year, so I'm hoping that we can be a part of that at some point. But I think it's all about money for him right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So, last question. There's a lot of talks going around social media, casual fans. I'm not a casual fan. I'm in this deep. I'm in deep.
Yeah,
So,
I feel you.
There's talks with these casual fans right now. They're starting to see the light almost. The NFL being rigged. Where do you stand with that? Do you see it as the games being completely rigged? Do you see outcomes? Do you see crookedness with the refs, or do you
It's a good
see,
question.
or what do you see with this? Do you fully 100% believe? Honest opinion. Where do you see the NFL? I read somewhere where they were saying that the NFL is now known as a form of entertainment rather than a sport. And when I think that, I think WWE.
Yeah,
What do you get from that, man?
man. My honest opinion, man. I think some parts of it is a little rigged.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the referees can really change the game
Yep.
with just a couple calls at the end. Not to say that's how every game is. There has been some games that was a little iffy where I'm like, I don't know, it's looking kind of like something's up with it, but I think it's definitely possible for sure for it to be, a little bit controlled in a way. Like if you think back of the whole the 9/11 thing, right? So that happened and then, Patriots, back to back to back, Super
Yeah.
Bowls and stuff, like right after that happens, the Patriots. So
Before that, they were
some people,
asked. They were
yeah,
asked
yeah,
before that whole thing happened.
yeah. So in some ways, you can kind of see that there is kind of a push for a certain team or for a certain situation.
Yep.
But I don't want to say that's every like that happens all the time.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say there are certain situations where it's a little iffy. Just like the last game when we played against the Rams, and you know how that ended at the end, and
Yeah.
then the uh, the Buccaneers game ended the same way with the same score. that kind of like I don't know, that hit me a wrong way a little bit. It
Not
seemed
not
a
even
little
not just the same score, almost the same outcome of how
basically
it
the
ended.
same outcome too. Yeah,
You
a
know,
touchdown at the end to
yeah.
end it. Yeah, so man, it's if it's not, it looks like it.
Sometimes, right?
Sometimes, more
Yeah,
times than not. But I mean, you never know, man. There's a lot of money involved, and
that's what I was about to get at.
once there's a lot of money involved, you never know. So
Yeah, and first off, I love WWE. You know, I'll watch the hell out of some Royal Rumble, some WrestleMania. I'll watch wrestling, man. I don't know the outcome, and even if I do know the outcome, I like the destination. I like how you get there. You
yeah,
know, like I know so and so is gonna win this, but I want to see how it's done. You know, so to
yeah,
me, if it is whatever, I'm gonna still watch. It's still football. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah. It's not
But
gonna change my love for the sport.
yeah,
It's not gonna change my love for the Raiders.
yeah,
It's not gonna make me think any less or any more of how I feel for the sport. But in the back of your head, you just know, like, sometimes it looks a little shady, you know,
it does. It's
and
sloppy patchwork if they're
it's
trying to rig it.
sloppy. It's sloppy. Yeah, that's for sure. So just
Yeah,
keep your eyes open, man, because sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. At the end of the day, man, we just want to win, bro. Like all the
yeah,
other nonsense. I mean, people is gonna talk about refs cheating, refs not calling right,
yeah,
this and that, but I mean, you wouldn't be in that situation if you was handling your business. So at the end of the day, none of that matters. If you putting 50 on them, you can. It don't matter how many pass interference, how many, any of that. So if you got to play against the refs too, that's what you got to do.
yeah. And you know what? To add on to that, man, you got when the NFL like welcomed in betting into the whole mix. That's when things started getting a little bit funky to me. Um, for example, if you see at the beginning of the week, you know, a team is favored by a couple of points, then it starts swinging towards the end of the week. Like you start swinging the opposite way. Then you're like, all right, I'm gonna make my bets here. But then Vegas sees it as where is most of the money getting put in? And if that's the case, you can almost kind
Do the
of
opposite.
manipulate, yeah, you can kind of manipulate the game almost through officiating and things like that. This is my theory. I'm not saying this
Yeah,
is what's happening, but it's
yeah. I
easy.
mean,
My
I could
point is,
definitely see that. I could definitely see that because I mean, you do a lot of betting,
yeah,
and the numbers the numbers are a little iffy, bro.
the
Like
numbers,
even if it looks like a sure thing, you're like, oh, for sure, this is it. Somehow,
yep,
and it'll look good all game, you know,
yep,
and somehow at the end, something happens, So
yeah,
I can definitely see, once they started adding betting into it and all that, it kind of it made it a little bit, more kind of iffy on are they really doing something or not? But I mean,
you just never know. And
yeah,
my thing is, you know, I'll see a game where a team is, you'll see it a lot, where a team you think it should be an underdog is actually favored in a game to kind of push you to go the opposite way. And then in doing so, the team that was supposed to be, you know, the underdog, I mean, that's the underdog, supposed to be the underdog, is actually going to win. And it's almost like a trap. Like
yeah,
we've seen that a lot of times
a
where,
lot of times.
you know, where Vegas is trapping you to put that money the opposite way so
Yeah.
they can just easily snatch you up.
And you started showing me that too, and I started noticing it even more. Like that is true.
Yeah.
There's a lot of there's a lot of traps where you think it's easy money, and then somehow you know something else happens. So
Yeah.
yeah, man,
And
it's definitely like that.
that's what kind of like I saw how the trend was this week where the Raiders versus Patriots, the Patriots were 2-point favorites to open up.
Hmm.
It swung and then it became a pick. Like pretty much it was a 50-50 matchup as the game was going along. And then towards game time Saturday, going into Sunday, the Raiders were the 1-point favorite going in.
Do
So
you
it's like
think like players coming back kind of feed into that?
it does that does take into consideration. They do
Because that's the
take
only thing I can think of. We got Waller back, we got Renfro back.
yeah.
Maybe that kind of pushed us in a little bit more of an advantage. But I mean, still, like, who comes up with these numbers, and why do they change the way they change over a period of time into the game and all that? So there's
Yeah.
definitely some kind of formula or something
Yeah.
that they're working with to kind of because the house wins more time than not, and
Yep.
it's kind of crazy how that happens.
Yeah. And
So
back in the day, it wasn't any like sports betting is like on the forefront in the main, like kind of mainstream. It wasn't like that probably about 5 to 10 years ago. It
yeah,
was still happening, but it was, it was some underground degenerate kind of stuff going on back in the day. You know what I mean? You had to
yeah,
you had to go looking for it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
These days you can go get in your phone and find a way to put some bets in, whether it's
yeah.
legal or not. You could do it.
I've been
You know what I
betting
mean?
with I've been betting with crypto, bro. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's definitely so many ways to get them bets in. That's for sure.
Yep.
So
And
yeah,
that's
man, it's crazy.
yeah. And you see it all the time, man. And even it's kind of beyond. There's smarter people than me that are making these numbers up. The smarter people than both of us. They're into the analytics. They look at every single ounce of the numbers. Yards per play. They look at little things, averages, different things like that, and they formulate. I don't know what the formula is, but they get all these numbers and they formulate it up, mash it into one thing, and then boom, they put out a over under. And usually they're pretty damn close to like where that over under is supposed to be.
Yeah,
So, and it's a 50-50, but the over under is like, oh man, I don't even know. It's so close every time
yeah.
that it
And then
usually hits
and
the
it's
last
funny
score.
how when it's so close, and then like at the end of the game, like there's a random score or a random field goal or something like happens where they don't really need to, they go for two or something. Like, why did they do that?
Yeah.
And I've seen those situations happen where it's like I've seen a team go for two when they didn't need to, but as far as like the betting is concerned, like that extra little 2-point conversion changed the whole money line. So
Yeah.
yeah, man, it's crazy.
What's crazy about it is you'll see a game where it's like a 7.5-point favorite, and then they score a touchdown to go up, which you would think would be 7, and they go for 2. So and then they get it. So instead of you covering that 7, now
You lost.
you lost. You got, you're down 8.
Yep.
So it's a trip that you see that sometimes, and it's almost like if you don't know what you're seeing, you're not going to notice it. You know,
Yep.
it was the
Yep.
same thing. The Cowboys and the Giants game on Thanksgiving. You saw me. I threw my hat at the TV. Y'all
Yeah.
had some money on the game. Giants had the ball. They were the game was it? The Cowboys. The Giants had the Cowboy. One of those teams had the ball, and they were up, and they were covering, and they kicked
Yeah,
the
and the
field
game
goal.
was pretty much over, and then they
Yeah,
decided like to score at the end, which didn't
yeah.
even.
It was like a 9.5-point favorite. The Cowboys were covering 9.5, but then the Giants scored at the end and made it an 8-point game. And the Cowboys kicked the field goal before that and missed, would have put them up like 18 or something like that, but they missed, so it was like 15. So yeah. So long story short is you see it all the time where it's like, man, what's going on? Why are they continuing playing? Like
Yeah.
you would think
Yep.
that you're running a ball, you're not trying to do anything. It's like,
Yeah, especially when you have the lead, like
right,
run the clock and get out of there,
yeah,
you know. But it's like the refs got an earpiece in, and Vegas is calling like, yo,
yeah,
we need to get some more points on the board or something. So
yeah,
that's how it seems sometimes, bro.
yeah, it does. And I'm just calling out what I see. I'm not saying I'm not going to be on one of those tinfoil hat conspiracy dudes, but when you play football for a long time and you know the game. Same with you. You know the game. You know what you're supposed to run. You know what you're not supposed to run. And when they're going against that, you start calling things out. You're like, well, that doesn't make any football sense.
Yeah.
You know? So I'll leave it at that, man. You know, because I don't want to be the tinfoil hat
Yeah,
guy.
we don't want to go too deep on them, bro.
Yeah. You know, so that's kind of where I stand, bro. But man, that's all I got, bro. We definitely went. You know, I say 30 minutes, but it never goes 30 minutes, bro.
Hey, yo, that's how it goes, bro. You know, once you start talking it up, man, you lose track of time.
Yes, sir.
That's for sure.
Man, hey,
Man, but I
thanks for coming on
appreciate
the
you.
show,
I
bro.
appreciate you having me on, bro, for sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And I'm gonna have your stuff in a description so everybody can pull up and see what's going on. You can kind of
check me out, man.
We've been trying to for a long time to kind of tie in my world and your world and kind of mash it together. So I think we did that as best as I could. What you think, man?
I think, man, that you couldn't do no better, bro.
Yeah.
You know, if anybody else out there want to learn more information about crypto, holla at your boy, man. Hit me up, Crypto Tales on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter, Tales from Crypto, man. And you know, take control of your finance, man. Change your life. You know, we're moving towards, you know, crypto everything.
Yep.
And you know, just do some research, man, and learn something and change your life, man. Like it's changed mine. You know, I done helped you out. You done made some pretty good money too, man. So, you
Absolutely.
know, just learn something new, man, and take control of your future, man. Because, you know, this is the biggest opportunity we had since, you know, the internet was created. So everybody should definitely, you know, take advantage of this. That's for sure.
Absolutely. And don't let that mainstream media get you going the
Oh
opposite
yeah.
way, right?
Yeah. Mainstream is just gonna tell you it's a scam, that it's all bad, don't invest, you know, but you know, you got to think, why are they telling you that? You know,
Yep.
people, you know, are changing their lives, you know, becoming more, you know, financially secure. And when have they ever wanted you to be that? So, you know,
Right.
definitely learn something new, man, and change your life, man, like for real. So that's all I got to say, man.
There you go. Hey, a little bit of advice, not advice from my
Yeah,
financial
definitely
expert over
not.
here, Crypto Tales.
I'll be
What
your
you can do.
financial advisor, bro. But for
Yeah.
everybody else, man, I'm just letting you know what's up, man.
Right, right. And you know, with that money, maybe you can go check out a Raider game and then get you a nice little suite when it starts hitting. So,
Yes, sir. I
yeah.
mean, that's how I got the tickets when we went to the Rams game. I
Yep.
got in this crypto, tripled it up in like 2, 3 days. I was like, man, let me take some profit, get some tickets to this game. And that's how it is, man. So, you know, when people think, oh man, how do you spend crypto? It's not real and stuff, like there's ways, man, for sure.
Absolutely.
Just, you know, got to figure it out.
No doubt, no doubt. All right, bro. I'm about to call it. Hey,
For
thank you
sure,
guys
man.
for tuning in. Like once again, hit that thumbs up, like and subscribe. Go check out Crypto Tales on his page as well. Listen to the rest of the song that I just played. He's got some good music. He's got a lot of things going down the line that's going to be popping up. So go check him out. Also, if you want to get some good advice, not financial advice, go check him out. He'll put you on game with a lot of things. So with that, I'm Big Mike with the Raiders Pop Off episode 5, and we're out. Peace out.